talking to Josh Herron, and one of the things we wanted to talk to you about, Josh, is this is, you've had kind of an interesting experience the last couple of years. You win a Superbike championship, you head over to Moto 2, and you have this whole, I imagine, rather frustrating experience with, the team over there, team which then goes away. But now you're over here in MotoAmerica, and this is a completely new, from the ground up series. How are you feeling about it? It looks like a lot of people are excited, but it's a ground floor thing, which is kind of cool. You don't get that many opportunities like that.
Yeah, it was. It's definitely been a kind of a roller coaster, couple of years. It was real high in 2013, winning the Superbike championship, like you said, and then going into Moto 2 was great. It was one of my goals since I was a little kid to make it over to just in GP racing in general.
Sure.
And I know the year may not have gone well at all, but it was like we talked about earlier, it was a good experience. I'm glad that I went and did it. It didn't work out well, but maybe opened up some doors for stuff in the future. Got to know some people. They kind of, the people in the paddock kind of saw how things were going, heard how things were going. So I don't think we're shut out from going back over there ever again.
And if nothing else, it's a great learning experience for you too. You got to meet a lot of people that in the U.S. series, not a lot of people get that opportunity to do.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, chances are slim to none. As far as getting a ride over there. I have a good manager that worked really hard to get me over there, and of course I rode real hard to try and get that. But it, I was grateful for it and real happy that we were able to go. It was a good experience. Races didn't go as planned, but like you said, we picked up a lot of valuable experience and may have opened some doors for the future. So glad to be back over here.
Well, the obvious question to ask is, coming off the 1000cc Superbike here, and then heading over to ride on the Moto 2 bike. But that's a prototype bike, so it's not really comparable. What was it like riding the Moto 2 bike?
It was fun. It was fun from the very beginning. There was some things though that I wanted to change on the bike that we weren't able to change. I was hitting my face on the windscreen every time I went into a corner, and we couldn't get that fixed. And some of the guys were saying that I wasn't up to speed enough to change things on the bike. So it's hard to set it up whenever you're not able to fix the problems that's keeping you from gaining speed. And so it was always kind of tough to get up to speed. But the bike was fun. It was a real good experience to ride something like that without that much adjustment and get to learn how to ride a real GP chassis.
So I imagine you made some friends when you were over there too. Are you watching this year's the series this year and paying attention to it, and are you in touch with any of those folks?
Yeah, I'm not really. Social networking is that's the best way for us to get in touch. A couple guys, one or two guys I text, but mostly just stuff on Instagram and Twitter. But I kind of Efren Vasquez, that's a Moto 3 rider. I kind of follow him, and then Jack Miller. I got to be not friends but acquaintances, and we talk a little bit. And it's cool to see Zarco performing so well after seeing how he did on the team last year. It seems like it helps to get on a good team over there. It shows, he's going from running up front last year, but never, maybe finished on the podium, I think 3 times, to now just dominating the races. So it's good to see that, and kind of gives me some confidence as far as knowing that it wasn't completely me last year that didn't do well.
Yeah, clearly, I think that's one of the things I think a lot of people got was that you had some problems, but clearly there were problems on that team, and that's demonstrated by how strong you can see Zarco is on a good bike. Yeah. So that's good for you. So what do you see for this the MotoAmerica series for you this season?
I see it going well. At Austin we had a good chance to win the race, and we ended up crashing out with a couple laps to go, so that hurt us a lot. But then Road Atlanta, we won the race on Saturday, and it rained on Sunday. We came in second, so been consistent, and we just got one of my biggest problems is just getting up to speed in practice. It's it's kind of something you always want to do, is be able to be up to speed so you can set the bike up well, and I struggle with that a little bit. So been trying to just stay out there and do some laps by myself and get up to speed, and seems like it's working. Today we had a fall, but we're all good and the bike's ready to go. So should be a good weekend and a good year for sure. Well,
good. We wish you the best, and thank you, Josh, so much for providing some interesting information from your experiences. All right, good luck to you. All right, stay safe.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Phil from the DawgHouse, and we're here at VIR, and we are with Bobby, the non-Asian Fong. I almost said the non-Fong Asian. Bobby, how does that even happen? The first time I watched you do an interview after a race, they were like, Bobby Fong, and you came out, and I'm like, whoa, that's not right.
Yeah, man, I get that a lot. You're like, man, you're not Asian. And no, my dad's Filipino and Chinese. My mom's white, so that's where the Fong comes into play. But you know, I love it. Everybody likes a Fong. There's no Asian person around here, so it's just me.
See, I thought it was shortening the name from like Fungeli or something like that. That was always my speculation. You know, I'm from an area where a lot of Polish immigrants came in the 50s, and they all changed the name from Andruszkiewicz to Andrews and stuff like that. So that's where I thought that was going. How are you feeling? Are you going to be out on the track this week? How's things going?
You know, I'm definitely better than round 2. You know, I couldn't race at all a few weeks ago, but you know, we're out here racing. We're trying to get some points, and we're going to do the best we can. We're not 100%, but you know, the team's been working hard to make me comfortable on the motorcycle. So we're just going to give it 100% this weekend, and you know, in a few more weeks, hopefully, we should be 100%.
Yeah, well, we'll catch up with you at Barber too. You know, we'll see how you're feeling then, get the shoulder back in shape and everything. Listen, good luck on the season. It was nice putting a face with you.
I appreciate you guys coming by and taking the time to talk to me. So I guess we'll see you at a few more rounds this year.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, hi. We're talking to Danny Eslick. We are at VIR. Did I hear something about you not racing this weekend?
No, I guess I've been sitting at home for the first 2 rounds of the MotoAmerica series, and you know, not by choice. There just wasn't there's not a lot of seats out there, not a lot of rides available, and you know, was more than willing to ride. There just really wasn't anything coming about for those first 2 rounds, and you know, so here we are at Virginia, and I've got a pretty nice CBR 1000 with the Easy Verify group and Turbo Racing. So it's nice of them to give me an opportunity to get back out, and I like racing the 1000 and being in the top premier class in Superbike, and they're giving me the opportunity to go out there and hopefully show what I can do.
I hear this rumor that Danny Eslick can race anything. It doesn't matter.
I like to think I can. I grew up racing flat track and done supermoto and road racing, obviously, and do a little trail riding. So if it's got 2 wheels, brakes, and a throttle, I like to ride it. And I wouldn't even mind riding one with 2 wheels and no brakes, getting out a speedway bike there. If you don't know what that is. I've never had the chance to ride a speedway bike, but I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, and I imagine you wouldn't have much problem with it too. And you know, if there's anybody that you went out there and you of all the fans out there and you talked about, they'd say, who do you enjoy watching race the most? They'd have to say is Danny Eslick. Does that kind of make you spoiled?
That's pretty neat. I was just out watching the start of this 600 Super Stock session, and I could see a guy slapping his buddy on the shoulder because I was out watching these guys, and he didn't want to make a big deal about it or say anything, but it's not uncommon for that, and I like to go and say hey and wave and you know, not just make new friends, but new fans and new people all over the country. So you know, I like that people like to watch me race, and I enjoy being out there and putting on a show for them.
Oh yeah, and it's obvious, you know, watching you how much you enjoy it as well. It's like Danny's like the guy that always has a smile on his face. You know? He's always having a good time. We always talk about that. So what can we expect? What do you expect? What are you shooting for this weekend?
I mean, realistically, I'd like to get on the Superbike podium. Being in the top 3 is not going to be an easy challenge. Very limited laps I got in the first session shows that we're not far off. I think we're a little more than a second off, which is a lot. But you know, for me being the first time on this bike and working with this team, I'd say we're not far off. Where a lot of these guys have been riding with the same team and the same crew for years. So, you know, I think we've come out swinging pretty good.
I got to ask you a question. With the repeat demise of EBR, now we know somebody who won a championship on an EBR, right? What is that? What goes through your head? Because obviously you did have a relationship with Eric.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Eric. I know how hard he tries, and you know, the guy puts his whole heart and soul and effort into everything he does with EBR and racing, and the guy's so passionate, and you know, it's I can't imagine the devastation he feels having to, you know, shut everything down all over again. I mean, I think everything was on a big stride forward, and I thought EBR was wide open and going to do really good big things, and it's a shame. I don't know the details of it, but it's definitely a shame that that they've got put on hold and kind of shut down for now.
Well, I know I speak for a lot of people, and we wish you the best of luck. And number one, obviously, stay safe. So good luck to you. We look forward to watching you. We'll see you in Barber, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Take care.
See, Cam, he's already blaming me, and that's the problem with DawgHouse Radio. Is every time something goes wrong, it's always my fault. But I get to stand here and I'm interviewing Cam Boubier, number 6 Graves Yamaha, the 2014 champ. Am I getting 13? I'm bad with years. I am horrible with years. He's 2013 champ. Sorry about that. Welcome to Virginia, and how are you liking things?
I'm liking it a lot. It's my first time here, so just kind of getting into the swing of things. I had a rough start to the session, just kind of lost on the track. Felt like I forgot how to ride a motorcycle at first, but then slowly got it together, and we put on a new tire at the end, and started dialing in my lines a little bit, and so I know at least to start with we're somewhat competitive. I know Josh had a rough get off. So yeah, but I think it's a good first session to build off of. I'm really liking the track. It flows pretty good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the weekend.
And they're doing the North track here at VIR, so it doesn't have the big swing down by what used to be the oak tree, which they chopped down, but they still call it the oak tree turn. I don't understand that. This year so far, it seems like it's you guys on the Graves Yamaha and Roger Hayden, about the only guys who are really mixing it up really good out there. Do you think that's the way it's going to contend, or do you think there's somebody else coming up? And what are you doing to make sure you stay up on top?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my Monster Energy Graves Yamaha has been, it's been on rails so far this year. The new R1, I'm really gelling with it, and I'm having a lot of fun on it. Still pretty, it's early days with like motor development, stuff like that, but so far it's been really good. I know Raj is right there, and I know, Jake Gagne on the Superstock version. Our bike is somewhat similar to a Superstock bike right now. It's slowly going to get better, but I know, he's going to be right there. Jake Lewis is going to be right there. I think it'll give Jake a little bit of time. It's his first few races on a Superbike. It's a big change. I went through it last year, and it was tough. So, like I said, I'm really having fun on this new bike, and yeah, should be good.
Are you finally happy to get a dry race?
Gosh, yeah, I hope so. I don't want to jinx it yet, but seriously, man, I've been I've been dying for a dry race. Kodo it was really good to get a dry race after that first wet one, but at the same time, like I've been feeling a lot more comfortable in the wet than I have in the past. This new bike has been, I don't know, it's a little bit more gentle to you than in the wet, rather than last year's bike. It was pretty stiff and rigid, really fast, really good bike. But yeah, I think it's suiting my style a little bit better.
All right, hey, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure, and good to meet you.